Hi, it's Anna, your interpreter bestie. I've had a few people request that I talk about my interpreting from home setup and what factors to consider when deciding to work from home as an ASL interpreter. What are my credentials for talking about this? I have been working from home doing remote community work as a certified ASL interpreter for over 5 years. During that time, I was traveling with my husband for his job as a travel nurse. I learned effective ways to set up a VRI station in a myriad of environments. Though now I've settled in one place for a while, my setup has adapted to that. These are the factors I would advise you to consider: internet, computer, lighting, camera, microphones and headphones, confidentiality, background, chair, and a few other miscellaneous items. Let's start with your internet connection. You will need high-speed internet to ensure your video is high quality and clear for your consumers. Next, your computer. This is the laptop that I use. I bought it a few years ago. I was using a tablet for some time, but the screen was pretty small. I would advise a larger monitor so you can see your consumer clearly. Also, often there are materials they will want you to see at the same time, such as a PowerPoint, and a larger monitor means you can split the screen and still see everything clearly. Let's talk about lighting. Lighting can be a more fickle element to work with when interpreting from home. Currently, I have a standing lamp near my desk and other basic lighting in the room. In the past, I have set up a white trifold poster right behind my computer, and then I connected a ring light to the top of my laptop and pointed it at the white poster board. The light would be reflected back onto my face. This can be used if you're facing a white wall as well. This is a great method if you need something that you can travel with and can be set up anywhere. Often lighting will be too yellow or too bright, so this method creates the environment for you. You do not have to rely so heavily on what is already in the space when you are bringing your own things into the space. Be careful with windows. The sun is obviously uncontrollable and can completely wash out your face. This means that the consumer cannot see your facial expressions properly. Blackout curtains may be necessary for you to block the sun on bright days and to use artificial lighting instead. Something to keep in mind when considering the space that you might be using to set up your work from home station. Today we are talking about my webcam, headphones, and microphone. I use this Logitech brand webcam I got on Amazon that sits on top of my laptop. My laptop camera is pretty grainy, so I don't like to use it for my work. This webcam has been with me for several years and I love it. There are some features that allow me to adjust brightness, contrast, etc., which I find really helpful. It can also be tilted up or down, like that, which allows me to adjust how much of my body is going to be seen in the video. This is really great on laptops because I do not want to tilt my entire screen down to get the right angle for me to be in the video. This will just do that for me. Also, webcams are not that expensive online. I would suggest investing in one if you do plan to work from home. Now, let's talk about headphones and microphones. I've used this headset with mic since I started doing remote interpreting, though I did have to buy a new one of it last year when the original broke. I really like this one because it is comfortable for me, but I see many people using AirPods, Bluetooth devices, and other one-sided headphones as well. All are acceptable. There are a few reasons I suggest using a headset and mic. One, as interpreters, we are typically not sitting very close to our computers because we want to see more of our body in the video. This means when we are voicing, our voice has to travel a lot further to be heard in the computer's microphone. Having a mic close to my mouth means I can talk comfortably when I'm voicing. In addition, sometimes speakers in a remote assignment are hard to hear or the environment is causing some auditory noise. Having a headset means the audio is closer to my ears and therefore easier to hear. As an interpreter, confidentiality is important to consider when working from home. You have the audio coming from those speakers in the meeting, and you have your voicing for the consumer. Some companies will require you to have a separate and locked room to do your work. This is typically VRI specific companies where you're working a shift or VRS. I work for community agencies who offer online community work. They do not have requirements other than following the COPC and abiding by the confidential agreement within that. How this works for me might not apply directly to you. Someone who lives alone, has roommates, has kids, or has another work from home partner will all have different factors to consider. For me, I live with my husband and my sibling. Both of them are usually out of the house most of the day, and I can work at my desk in the shared space. I do not have a separate room available for me to act as my private office. However, since I'm home alone, I am being confidential. If they are home while I'm working, we take into account the type of work I'm interpreting. I often have assignments where I'm not voicing at all. For example, a webinar for a general audience, I'm not going to be using my voice at all. I'm going to be signing for speakers the entire time. With my headset on and my computer facing the wall, they cannot see or hear any of the information I am conveying. While I am visibly interpreting, they do not understand sign language, so this is not at all revealing any information to them. They are usually not in the same space with me for this anyways, as they will stay in their rooms to give me privacy so I can focus on my work. If I'm voicing for a consumer and they are home, my sibling or my husband, they will be in the rooms, doors closed, to make sure that any information I'm saying is confidential. This is the same idea as me being in a room alone. They are given the times of my appointments to know when they need to give me the space to use it on my own. Consider where in your home you can keep all information confidential and focus on your work. In the past, I have considered if I were to have children, I could rent a private office space to use for work. You might have a room that does have a door and a lock. You might have something else available to you, or you might just be living at home alone where you could use any space. Apply this where it makes sense. The important thing is to be confidential and to consider the factors that ensure you are being confidential. We are wrapping up the series with my background, my chair, and some miscellaneous items you might find helpful to your setup. My background currently is a painted blue wall. I was lucky enough to be able to do this in my current apartment, and it is my favorite option. If you do not have this option, like I did for many years, here are some other ideas. One, a photography backdrop. I used this for years because I was traveling with my husband for his job. It folded down for travel and then would pop up, and I connected to a stand whenever I needed it. I basically had a backdrop out of nowhere, no matter the environment I was working in. This is a more expensive option, so do with it what you will. That was a special circumstance for me as well. Curtains or sheets. I have seen many people do this. They hang a curtain or a sheet behind them on the wall and then they sit in front of it. It's less aesthetic for your home environment, but as long as the part that's on your camera is professional, you're good to go. Most importantly, make sure your background is clear of clutter and neutral, hopefully a contrasting color to you. My chair is pretty basic. You can see here. But I hope to buy an office chair someday. Do what works for you. Make sure it's not visibly distracting, not a bright color. If it rolls or has armrests, make sure that doesn't cause any issues for your interpreting. And then my favorite thing is this foot cushion. It helps keep my body in better alignment when I'm sitting in this chair at my desk for multiple hours. I bought this on Amazon. Comfy Life. I also bought this on Amazon. This is a separate keyboard and mouse because I use a laptop. I bought this because it's cute, but also it's easier to reach when I'm texting my team or adjusting my screen. My laptop is pretty far away from me when I'm interpreting so that I can be more in the screen. And so this, I don't have to reach so far if I need to send a message to my team or if I need to click on something, it's just closer to me. And I really like that. So thanks for following along in the series. Let me know if you have other questions about my setup. I'm happy to talk about it more or individually. Thanks, bye.